Peterson is well known in the crafting world for her incredible work in friendly plastic, jewelry making, and polymer clay. This year, Linda launched Craft Tech University, and there's been some chat going on about her classes in the chat room. Craft Tech University is where she teaches students from all over the world in a new format of live webcam. That's the coolest way to learn online. And I will ask Linda to talk a little bit more about Craft Tech University after her demo of today's project. Today, Linda is here to share a project that is the coolest idea, and she actually did a poll online. So she has an old world copper earrings that she's going to demo today because that was the fan pick. I'm delighted to welcome Linda Peterson. Hi, Linda.
Hi, Tiffany. Thanks for having me, and hello to all you cool crafters out there. I hope you guys have had a wonderful weekend, and I hope that our projects today kind of inspire you to keep your crafty week going. As Tiffany mentioned, yes, I put the call out on Facebook, so this project is really a viewer's choice project, and it's a little teaser to the book that I just got back from England doing, which is called Metalwork Jewelry. It'll be out next year in March. So I thought I'd give you a little preview what it's all about. So Tiffany, if you'll put up the picture of the project that we're going to do today, I will adjust my camera. So as I mentioned on Facebook, if you read my posts and my blog post about this project, I specifically like to design when I have some sort of memory involved. And I want to show you this piece of metal, this copper metal that I have here, because this is actually a piece of copper flashing that is off an old English house in England that my friend Liz Welch owns. I got to stay the weekend with her. We got to craft, but she's remodeling her home, and she's recycled all of these copper tiles that she had on her house. So isn't that cool? So when I make a pair of earrings out of this, it's really special because this copper was actually aged the good old-fashioned way by weather. Look at those beautiful patina marks. And so that's one thing that I will remember when I make a pair of earrings. The other thing is look for found objects. Now, we're not going to be using bottle caps today, but Heidi, I had to think of you, and I got to tell this story really quick because these are bottle caps that I got when I went to the Eiffel Tower. And in fact, they're still dirt because we dug these out of the dirt in front of the Eiffel Tower. My editor, in doing this book, thought it was so crazy that I was recycling all these things until she saw what we were doing with them. And she's actually the one who dug these out of the ground in front of the Eiffel Tower. But we'll make some kind of crafty project with them. So now when I make things out of metal, and especially if it's metal that I picked up from someplace memorable, like this piece or the piece we're going to be working on, you know, it brings back really good memories. So you saw the picture. This is something, it's a little take on one of the projects in my book. So this is what we're going to be working with. And I've already taken a piece of the metal and I've cut it into just a rectangle. Nothing I do is really, I don't really measure that much because I don't like it. If I see that there's a bunch of measurements in project instructions, I tend to put those instructions up and I don't like them very well. So also, this is flashing, and you can use regular copper sheeting, but because this is flashing, it's pretty soft metal, and so I'm just going to use a pair of tonic scissors. These are those tonic scissors by Tim Holtz. I love them because they're really durable, and you can see you don't need any special tools. You don't have to have a jewelry saw or anything, but you can just cut these as big as you want. Okay, there we go. So you're going to create a square, a rectangle. It can be as long or as small as you want. And then we're going to take this piece, we're going to take this over. I'm going to slide my camera over here because I want you to see that I have a bench peg set up. This is a special jeweler's tool. This is my bench peg. And this is a hard surface. It's called an anvil on the back of my bench peg. And I already have a piece of metal waiting to go here. Let me get that lined up so you can see that. And now what you're going to do is you're going to file. And I've already filed another one, but I want to show you how to file. You file going down. You would think that you would file from the bottom up, but actually the part of your file that works the best goes upwards. So you're going to file from top down. And you're going to file all those edges smooth, and I won't do it because it's kind of irritating on camera, but you're going to file all those edges round. So it's going to look something like this one when you're finished. All right, put that one down. Can you see that those edges right here around? Right there. They're all round, all the way around. The next thing you're going to do, and do this before you actually shape your metal. Again, I'm going to pull my camera back, is you're going to mark. Let me find where my, there we go. I had it all set up. There we go. Here we go. You're going to mark with a magic marker where you're going to drill your hole. And yes, you will need a power drill for this, but you'll need to center punch this. I have a center punch. You'll use this on your anvil. And again, I'm not going to hammer because it's pretty aggravating, but you're going to hammer a little indentation where you want to drill your hole. And then put this on a wooden block. It can be any scrap of wood. And use your drill, your Dremel drill, just like I have here, and you're going to drill your hole. All right? So we've got our piece, we've got it shaped, we've got it rounded on the corners, we have our hole in the center. The next thing I do, and this is a technique that I'm actually going to show you in the class. I'm not going to do it now, but I'm going to show you how to dap. And that is what we call forming our metal, and it makes it into a real nice curve. You're going to learn a lot of techniques in our class coming up this weekend. It's a 6-hour mega class. It's called Foundations, and you're going to learn how to work with all different types of techniques in copper. But we're going to give this piece of copper some texture. So I don't have my bench block with me, but you can put it back over here on, here it is. Let me get my bench block. This is a portable little steel block here. The one thing I like about my bench block is it has rubber on the bottom, and that absorbs any shock, so that way it doesn't bounce things off my table and it's not quite as loud. But you're going to take the back of a ball peen hammer, and you're just going to, I'm not going to do it real hard, but you're going to tap, 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 tap until you get hammered effects in your metal. It's really hard to see here. But when you turn it upside down, see this right here was part of where the patina was, and it kind of knocks it out wherever the hammer hit. So that's how I created those little circles there. Isn't that cool? I think that is so cool. So you've cut it, you've rounded the corners, you've sanded it so all these corners are nice and smooth, nothing's going to cut you. You've drilled your hole, you've hammered the texture into it. Now we get to finish it out. Pretty simple. And once you get to working with this technique, you can do these earrings in about 30 minutes. So I'm going to come back in. I have some copper wire that I have just dunked into a whole tub of liver of sulfur, and that's what makes it this nice tarnished brown color. And I have a technique on how to keep that from rubbing off on your skin. That's one thing I'm going to share in my class. But we're going to string some beads on here and finish these out. So I work off of the spool or off of the coil here, and that way I don't waste anything. I'm going to thread through the hole, and then I'm going to take my short end and bend it back up towards my original wire. Take the short wire, bend it around. You'll probably need to grab a pair of pliers. I'm using, this is 20 gauge copper wire, and I get this at the hardware store. So you're going to bend this around to secure this. If you miss this little tip technique right here, watch the replay on YouTube. It's pretty easy. Now, I'm going to snip off about 3 inches here. And I'm just going to take, these are some turquoise beads that I've rescued from another broken necklace. Look, sometimes the bead holes are big enough and sometimes they're not. That one's not. Let's try this one. Okay, now would you know, I could pick up out of all the selections that I picked up, those 2 beads didn't work. All right, let me try this one more time. Sometimes we can get this in here. Okay, well, you get the idea. You're going to string on some beads. Then you're going to come back in with either a pair of round nose pliers. You're going to create a loop at the top and wrap it around. Okay? Snip this little end off right here, and then all you have to do is attach it to an earring wire, and you finished out your pair of earrings there. Now, what I did to make it a little extra embellishment here is I just added a little coil drop. So just wind the wire in a coil and then just attach it to your loop right here. Okay? So that's pretty much how to make a very basic pair of copper earrings. And like I said, I love the fact that these are made from flashing that came off in an old English house. It's actually in Nottingham, England. So does anybody have any questions that I can answer for you? Pull those back so you can see those better. Any questions at all? Thanks, everybody. How do you seal it? You don't need to seal the copper, actually. I have a polishing cloth that looks like this. It has rouge on one side and nothing on the other. And you can actually go through and just hand buff it. And it'll put kind of a matte sheen on it. But I don't actually seal it. I guess if you wanted to, you could put some sort of acrylic sealer over the top of it. How do you patina clean copper flashing? I'm not sure what you mean, Susan. I don't know if you're asking how to clean the copper or how to patina the copper, but the patina has been done by the weather itself. So, and where do you get the anvil or everything you pound? Okay, both of those are from jewelry supply stores that you can get online. So.